Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Notorious. If you hear my voice do that, I have something happened to my back. And if you've ever had an issue with your back, if you move in the wrong way, it takes your breath away. And so if you hear me do that, I'm going to try to remain still and that not happen. But in this video, I'm going to play a couple of clips and just hammer in the fact that Owen Benjamin is, in fact, a cult leader, and there's obvious reasons why. And so we're just going to watch this clip real quick. And there you go.
The question for you, Bane Bear, is because you just accused me of complaining and bitching for 4 hours, do you ever go into Owen's chat and go, Owen, why are you bitching about Joe Rogan and Steven Crowder and all these comedians and Jim Bob and his wife for 3 weeks straight? No, you wouldn't, would you?
In the beginning, I did, yeah. Before I knew better, yeah.
You knew better. Did you get hit? Did you get hit like a dog?
What are you talking about?
Are you a dog who got hit by your daddy, Owen? Is that what happened? What do you mean, knew better? What does that mean?
Like, went into a room and just started typing without, like, paying attention to the context of the conversation or just being, like, jumping in with something, derailing or changing
So you got...
Buck broke. He got buck broke.
Yeah, you got butt broke.
He got buck broke.
No.
You got handled.
That's buck broke, bro. He got buck broke.
No, I got put in a timeout for 5 minutes.
Okay, so this is, I think that this is a very important clip. A couple of things going on. One, I think it's hilarious. Two, it's got a couple of different elements. One, hilarity. Two, sadness. It is sad that a grown man is saying that, he was questioned. So you're going to come in here and try to call me out on bitching and moaning for hours, whatever, but I bet you never do that to your cult leader. And his response is, I mean, I did until I learned my lesson. And that that it goes over his own head as to what he just said. Like, that is an insane statement. That is an insane statement that he misses the irony of that. And then the other aspects of this is this is one of the good things about schoolyard bullying. Now, bullying is a touchy subject that you can go too far or not far enough. But in any well-rounded society, there is some kind of hazing or bullying mentality, especially within the male community. And this is good with proper bullying, not overbearing bullying. You can bully somebody to the point to where it's just not a good situation. But they're calling him out on a true and just situation in hopes that, well, I'm not going to say in hopes, because this is up on the top left. That's Jim Bob, made by Jim Bob. Up in the top right, that's Andrew from The Crucible. And I know for a fact Andrew has said this. He is not... he's not doing this for any other reason other than to insatiably make fun of people that are retarded on the internet. And so both Owen Benjamin, the cult leader, and his cult member, Bane Bear, whatever his name is, are both, in his own words, retarded internet people. And so that's what he's doing. And so don't let me try to paint them in a different light. Their sole ambition, their motive is to make fun of these people. And that's a justifiable reason, in my opinion, because they deserve it. And in saying that, if people make fun of me, like, obviously, I can tell you, like, it makes sense. Trust me. The dude on the bottom right, I'm not too sure about him. Honestly, that was the first time that I've seen him, and he was quiet throughout most of this. But that's the importance of this clip. This clip has so many different layers to it that I appreciate Jim Bob posting this where he did and when he did. And this next clip. So the first clip, a cult member putting his foot in his mouth, right? And then this next clip.
We have a cult, though. Yeah, I mean, we can have an area for a cult. Like, we can set aside 5 acres for just cult shit. That way, when people want to fucking get it out of their system, they can just do it.
Okay, this is an important clip, and in all fairness, this clip was taken a couple of years ago, but it's still like this has been going on. So if this was a couple of years ago, this whole cult situation, I was personally watching Owen back in 2017 and 18. Through what I've learned, I used to say parts of 2019, but the whole Eric Nimmer thing, that happened, as far as I know, in the late 2018, right? And so Eric was still a thing whenever I stopped watching. But the whole cult, not a cult thing was happening back then. So taking into consideration that aspect that it had already been going on for at least a few years, if this was taken in 2020, it's been a long, constant thing. And so him saying that it's not a cult over and over and over again in his videos, every single day he addresses it, that's part of the cult mentality. Now, let's see if we can't. Nope, we're not going to be able to, and that's fine. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the comments in the comment section, good, bad, or whatever, indifferent. I really appreciate it. And if you know anybody that is seriously participating in Bertaria or anything like that, just let them know. Owen is a dangerous cult leader, and it's probably best not to. Some of the things that he says is good, like the whole community that shares and gives and all that kind of stuff. That's great. That is. Almost every cult out there offers at least one good thing, or they wouldn't be what they are. People want good. And so if it's good enough for them, they will overlook anything else in order to get that one good thing. So you can have the whole thought dream of Bertaria just without Owen. Just do it without Owen. That's the point of all of this, is because he is dangerous. He is a cult leader. He is a liar. And the things that he openly lies about usually is just the tip of the iceberg. And so this is just another layer of the iceberg of the cult of Owen Benjamin. This is the Texas Goat Radio Show. I am your host, Matorius. As always, till next time.
Meeting our neighbors, we're planting tomatoes. Maybe in a year, we have these great get-togethers at Bertaria, Ursa Rio. You guys start your own gardens. In 5 years, most people are off-grid. You know, people are having a bunch of kids. You figured out how to do childcare at home. Within 10, 15 years, people have to make $5 grand a year for various items. You know, no real need for high salaries. Within 20 years, me and my lieutenants live in a giant castle, and everyone crushes and prospers all over the lands. Do you see? I mean, I see that clear as day. I don't know if you guys see that or not. Oh, why do you need a castle? A moat stops wildfires. Like, all of this shit is so functional. But why do you need a giant castle? You can't siege the walls. It's not about status. Just let the status go. All these gamers, all they see is status. Oh, you want to be a big boy in a castle with a moat? The moat stops everything from burning, and the castle stops sieges. Oh, how dare you? It's because you want the status. I just don't know what to tell you. When the shit really starts hitting the fan, which I don't think is like today or tomorrow, I think it's just I think the people who see it, God is just guiding them down the right path, and the ones who don't, guys, they're going to be thrown by the ear into a fire. They're going to be like, hey, dang, like the world will make no sense whatsoever. Nothing they see is real in their mind, unlike a bird. And they will have it's that fucking crazy, okay? Because that is human nature. I've learned this over the years. Human nature is in-group preference, for better or for worse. It is what it is. And so when you have a group at the castle walls, wearing them down, like, oh, we need change, well, you got to be more inclusive. And at first I understood it. Like, when I was a kid, the Catholic Church was a mess. And they had this holy roller mentality, and they were abusive. And there was like, you know, my mother was an activist for breastfeeding. We used to have a bumper sticker that said ecology with breastfeeding, ecology with love. that there would be so many health benefits and so many ecological benefits to just breastfeeding your kid. My mom was always about solutions. So, my mom would have been considered extremely liberal, but if you look back at how she was, you'd agree with everything she said. Because back then there really was this medical, they called it accurately a patriarchy. This is when things get so interesting, is because that language was accurate. They used to say that mothers should be quiet about how to raise children. I literally remember these times in the 80s when less than 5% of mothers breastfed their babies. They were all fed Gerber food. And my mom was on to soy immediately about how it was bad for your endocrine system. It's one reason why I'm 6'8", I think, is because we weren't fed soy. All right.